Evening freaks, I am here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip, and we are diving into this pick a door read from the Price is Right Betch series. And we're starting with door number 1 for those of you who chose the pile with this wheelbarrow. I got a really interesting message download that came in with this wheelbarrow. Not at all what I was expecting, but I actually thought of the song Ring Around the Rosy. You know that old nursery rhyme? Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. And for those of you that don't know, that little childhood nursery rhyme that we used to sing on the playgrounds, that was actually a death dirge. And it's something that came forward at the time of the plague, the bubonic plague, 1600s. Okay, so that's 7 energy. Okay, and big message from spirit. And the ring around the rosy symbolized the itchy rash that would develop on those who had the plague. And the posies were put on, those who had passed, and was also a way to avoid the stench of the dead. Often posies were carried in the pockets, because the smell from all the bodies, being carted away was overwhelming. And ashes, ashes, we all fall down was about the cremation of those bodies, and we all fall down. Well, we all got to go at some time, okay? We all got to go at some time. And I am really picking up a strong message that this is speaking metaphorically. And it's interesting because, I paid Ted, you might hear him in the background when I'm doing this read. I paid Ted in dog biscuits, to behave during the readings. It doesn't always work. The bribe doesn't always work, okay? And this is part of the message, okay? I noticed that I had these right next to pile 1, and I heard the phrase, give a dog a bone, okay? Give a dog a bone. This is a very interesting message coming through. I just want to state again, this channel's not for kids, all right? This is an adult channel. And I will be giving adult messages in these reads, all right? So anytime we're working with the arcane bullshit deck, it can get pretty real and pretty raw, just as a warning, for those who need to tune out now because, they don't want to deal with something going potentially to the left, okay? But I feel like, you're tempted to give a dog a bone. And I believe that this is somebody connected to your past, okay? And you've been kind of hauling this shit around with you for so long that it's starting to stink up the joint. And it's kind of like, you need to just take a match and burn that fucking bridge and let it light the way forward for you, is really what I got. I also got, with that, of course, this message of, trying to bargain with what is going to be a losing bet, no matter which way you go. Be careful about making a deal with the devil. You might be dealing with a Capricorn, okay? This is just something coming in When I do call out signs, we are talking any significant placement, all right? Sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node. Capricorn is represented by that devil card in the tarot. I do feel like you have been grappling with something that is toxic, that is unhealthy. It has ties to your past. I'm getting, for some of you, this is a lover that is kind of resurfacing from your past, maybe coming around. Sounds real good, things have changed, everything's different now. You might be tempted to, enter into a compromising agreement with this individual. I did get, do be careful with giving this dog a bone, because I got in connection with that ring around the rosy that, that they might have an STD. If you notice any bumps, any red bumps, if you notice them itching their crotch a lot, beware, okay? Beware, beware of who you're slipping in between the sheets with. Make sure that you're not putting yourself at risk. This really came in pretty strong, so I wanted to speak to that. Likewise, I'm really picking it up around masculine energy. So if you're a dude and you've got some bump on your junk and you don't know what's causing that, maybe it's been itching, maybe you got a little swelling. I think that, I heard nothing a little penicillin won't cure. I think you need to go in and have it checked out, okay, on the real. And do be aware, do be aware of who you're connecting with. But on another track, for some of you, this is about really letting go of an outdated version of yourself. And some of you are really feeling like you are going through this complete rebirthing process right now, where you are noticing all kinds of new desires and new beliefs, new ways of looking at the world, new attitude. Even like, I'm really getting like, even your whole image has gone through this like radical revamp, where you're doing your hair differently, you're dressing differently, you're hanging out with a kind of unusual crowd. These people are very different than you have been familiar with, your associations being like in the past. You're getting a lot of expansion, but there's still these things that you're holding on to that are kind of like weighing you down. And it's like, yeah, you can still move forward with a wheelbarrow, right? But depending on how much shit you got piled up in there, it can really slow your roll, if you know what I'm saying. 8:18 on the clock when I said that, okay? So it's like, do think about, how much do you really want to carry with you into the new cycle? And are you really concerned about what falls away if you do step into who you are becoming now, rather than sort of staying stuck in your old roles because that's what people around you are comfortable with? Maybe some of you are worried about a little fallout, if you really step into who you're becoming now. But I think you need to be fucking radical, man. This is what I'm getting. There's this like radical energy around it. It's like shocking almost how much you are transforming, how much you are changing. And I don't feel like this is just on an inner level. I feel like it's something people see physically. Some of you, I just got, are really like getting in shape. Some of you have dropped a significant amount of weight. Some of you have really done your hair in an unusual way. maybe you're normally very conservative and you're becoming a bit more eccentric. That's sort of what I'm picking up. I'm really picking up this kind of artsy, even like punk rock vibe, just really rebelling against society norms, doing things your own way. And I say, roll with this energy, and anything, that keeps you stuck in this old way of viewing yourself, or those who want you to keep kind of dragging along this old identity because they're more comfortable with it and they don't know how to be with who you're becoming now. Like, haul that shit away and get on with it. But it's interesting too, as you like break down this whole ring around the rosy. And I know that was a really like morbid way to start this out, but it's seriously, it's like what came through for me. And I do feel like you're dealing with death as a central theme. Like there's big Pluto energy front and center for you. A lot of you may have Scorpio strongly aspected in your chart, and maybe that's what drew you to pile 1. I feel you're like in the thick of it. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Scorpio and this is heavy in your energy, but I do feel this Scorpio energy signature there, okay? So we're going to take a look at your cards. And see what they have to say. I'm so curious to see what comes forward with this, because it's just such an unusual message. And see, Ted is here hounding me for a bone. He wants his little bone. Here, go sit down. Get out of here. And you may be tempted to do that. There might be somebody you're tempted to just sort of like give them what they want just to get them out of their hair. Again, I'm like really getting this message. Be careful about that, okay? All right. Yeah. I think it's really time for you to make sure that you're cutting off anything that's like holding you back, weighing you down, and keeping you stuck, because I see right here that you got a dream, okay? Big air sign, fire sign energy coming forward here. So air sign, that would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then fire signs, we are looking at Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius there. This is a card that I've given the meaning, if wishes were horses, the dreamers would ride, okay? And I feel like, there's help coming in for you that's meant to like launch your dream. You got a big dream that you want to launch. Maybe your dream has a title involved with it, okay? Some of you have a dream to get, a home, and you're getting ready to sign off on that. Some of you have the desire to get like your dream car. Like I feel like you've like achieved some level of big success, and now you really want to treat yourself, and you want to get yourself that car you always dreamed of having. There's definitely like some very positive energy coming in here around your dreams and what you have created. I do feel like this has a lot to do with arriving at a certain place of financial success in your life and seeing a certain level of development in your career. For some of you, this does have to do with writing a book. I got this really strongly, writing a book or writing a screenplay. I'm really getting this because it comes in with the Ace of Swords here, all right? And the Ace of Swords is all about the truth, but I also often see the sword as the pen, and I associate it with writers because that sword suit is about thoughts, and the pen is mightier than the sword. I feel like you got something you need to say. There's something that you feel really passionate about. There's something that's really been in your heart space, and it's so essential right now that you let it come through your words, that this has an impact. And I believe it has some kind of impact that's really going to connect with a large audience of people, okay? For a lot of you, I'm getting this through the written words specifically. And this may seem silly, but I even feel like it's on social media and how you choose to utilize the resource of social media, what kind of posts you choose to put out there. And I feel like a lot of you are starting to like drop this sort of superficial bullshit, having to project this image online. You're sort of stripping away all the superfluous stuff, and you're moving more into the space of just being boldly authentic, speaking your truth, letting yourself be seen. And I feel like there's some piece about this, how you're using your words, and this is in connection with a dream, and it also has a lot of power behind it. And it has so much power behind it because it's connected to your truth. And by investing your energy in this, it leads to success. It also gives you forward motion in your life. And I believe this is one of your keys. You have a written key that's going to get you moving forward, that's going to get you out of those crossroads, where you're trying to decide which direction to go. Once you follow this piece, there's some kind of key here, okay? Maybe you're going to receive some kind of written information that reveals a truth to you that you didn't see before, and this moves you into action. Maybe you do get, that sale goes through, and then that allows you to, move forward and start living in a way that is more in alignment with what you're looking to create for yourself. I get that on the home front, like maybe there's a need for you to move from where you're currently at, because where you're currently at, maybe even the community you're living in, it's not in alignment with who you are. You're needing sort of fresh horizons, new people, new atmosphere. And so there's kind of like a need to sort of cut ties with what's been so familiar for you, sort of cut the cord on that and step into new territory. And this invites an expansion, but it also brings in opportunity, and there's success and, financial abundance associated with this, with the 10 of Pentacles. So those of you wanting that happy home, where you're maybe waiting to close a deal on a home, you're selling a home, you're buying a home. I do see it going through, it being successful. I see you moving into, kind of like your dream house and creating the kind of environment there that you've been really longing for. There's security there. There's others there in that space that are building with you, and you're all on the same page. It's a big, deep feeling of contentment. And I feel like maybe in the past, you've never really had that sense of feeling that kind of security, that's sort of welcoming in your home. Maybe you have been dragging behind you a lot of memories of instability and a lot of I want to say like unhealthy home environments, like emotionally unhealthy, even in some cases abusive home environments. I feel like particularly related to childhood, and that you've been doing a lot of processing around this, and this has greatly informed the kind of home you want to create for yourself. And I feel like you've really done the work. And a lot of this has had to do with you speaking your truth. Maybe you recently spoke out about some inequity, in the home, in a living situation. Maybe you also, address some unhealthy, family dynamics that required you to be very bold and very brave to speak your truth. But I feel like this was a breakthrough moment that moved things out of this like stuck energy, and it allows you to actually step into that real sense of home and sense of belonging. Lots of different messages coming in here, okay? I'm reading for a collective, so do be aware that not every message is going to be for you, all right? Let's see here. Okay, we've got two aspects coming up in the shadow, and this is associated with a Queen of Hearts energy, okay? Queen of Hearts can be related to Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, the water sign collective. It is in the light, okay? I believe this is also speaking of the need to come into the heart in order to be able to receive and move out of sort of that darkness from the past and all the heaviness that you've been wading through, all this healing work, all the painful experiences that you have been sitting with and transforming through, you know, taking in a bit of the poison. Like taking in a bit of the poison is actually like the medicine, because it's through really integrating the shadow, holding space for the shadow and moving through that material, that we're able to come to a place of recognizing where the light got in, what the gift was in the wound, you know. And there's something about this, about coming to this place of acceptance and healing and integration around the shadow and finally laying it to the rest, that it opens you and it gives you the ability to soften, to be able to be in your truth, to be able to be vulnerable. Aw, Ted agrees, okay? You need to go outside? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I just got, you know, with Ted wanting to go outside, that part of this may have involved a need for you to remove yourself from a kind of heated situation, okay? Yeah, a kind of heated situation. I feel like you were involved in some kind of highly competitive situation with the 9 of clubs and 6 of clubs here. I feel like you were kind of defending your turf. You felt like people were kind of coming at you. They were on the attack. You really had to stand your ground, stand your position. And I feel like this is a competitive energy around it, though, with this 6 of clubs. You know, it is in the shadow. It's like this desire to win at all costs. Okay, pick what side you're on. And if you're a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, have one of those placements strongly aspected in your chart: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. I mean, this could be you. You know, maybe this is the shadow energy you've had to transform. Maybe you've had to think about, you know, and this could be in matters of love too. It could be like, how important is it for you to win, and what is it about? Is it really about love, or is it about ego, you know, with it working in the shadow? This could also be, you know, pick what side you're on. It could be you've been dealing with, you know, somebody, water signs, who has, you know, been coming at you like this, has been coming at you very aggressively. You know, maybe this is like a third party dynamic. This is sort of coming in, you know, which makes it interesting about that initial opening message, right? Throwing the dog a bone. I don't know. You might want to be careful about that if you've been involved with somebody who potentially has multiple partners going on, okay? Ooh, sentience. Maybe, you know, you're finding out about this. Maybe there's a confrontation. Maybe it made you realize you needed to make a different choice in love. This just came in. Like maybe you're trying to decide between one of two people. You've been sort of on the fence. I think in this case, it's been secretive. It's been something that neither party knew about. Like neither person you've been involved with knew they were the third party. You've been trying to make a choice on the down low about which one to move forward with. One of these people, there's been a lot of competitiveness around them. You know, you've been trying to make up your mind, but I think some kind of truth came to light about one of these people. And because of that, you've started questioning, like, is it really worth it? Is this really worth, you know, competing for? And I think that this is one of the things that might need to be released. So we're looking at, yeah, oh yeah, I think so. I mean, I think you've been dealing with some dude that has just been taking his sweet time, you know. I think that there's somebody that you kind of left hanging on the line here. There's been some kind of delay tactics, You know, a lot of time has been wasted. You know, this person, uh, either, you know, I'm picking this up two ways. You know, somebody thought that they really were developing something with you, but you had a third party, and you were actually kind of playing both sides of the fence, and this person's been left hanging on the line. You know, they kind of got taken for a ride. I feel like this person's in a self-protected place right now. Maybe you tried to reach out to them to communicate, but they're remembering how they got hurt the last time, and they're not so sure if they want to pick up that phone and talk to you, okay? Or if they want to text you back. This may be somebody who is, you know, a father. It could be your baby's daddy. This energy coming in. I do feel this is somebody who could potentially have a child, okay? I'm also getting that maybe there's been a pregnancy involved, and that this person just found out they weren't the father. That's coming out for somebody, okay? I also feel there's another situation here where somebody has been really taking their sweet time reaching out and making things right. You know, they're kind of playing the victim, but really they're not doing anything to move this situation forward. They're sort of, you know, just taking their sweet time and, you know, being too focused on the ways that they feel that they got betrayed, when actually, you know, part of why there's so much complication in this situation is because they've just been, you know, not communicating. The lack of communication creates a lot of confusion, but I do feel like in all aspects, this lack of communication, this lack of honesty, this lack of directness about the situation has created this atmosphere where people feel very defensive and self-protective. 26:33 on the clock when I said that. Okay? I do think that there is a lot of confusion here, okay? And I do think you've had to kind of like go off on your own to get clear. You know, we see this maze. It's been like, sort of like you've been dealing with somebody who has just been like taking you through the fucking labyrinth, okay? And then just thought of the babe from Labyrinth. Apply that as that fits, but that's a message for somebody there, okay? But I feel like this is really reminding me of hermit energy. It could be associated with a Virgo, but I feel like you've had to kind of take some time, some space to yourself to sort of sit with things, figure things out, feel out, you know, what's the best way for me to move forward from here? And you know your next steps are very important. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I feel like, you know, somebody out there is everybody's snack. I'm picking up third party energy big time. This could be connected to a musician. You know, he may feel like he's like the alpha, you know, the alpha male, you know, and, you know, like he can just kind of like keep all these side dishes. He's kind of playing everybody. I think it's led to a lot of confusion. This can apply either way, you know. You know, a lot of the women sharks are bigger than the male sharks, right? So you have to remember that. You have to remember that it can go either way. Don't get hung up on when I say him or her, you know, take it as it fits. But I do feel like this third party dynamic energy that's been going on has created a lot of complication here. Whew. But I think something's about to change. I think it's really about moving away from this energy. Okay, it's about moving away from this energy and thinking about what you really want. What you want is this happiness. What you want is this happy home. What you want is somebody who will build with you. You want this stability. You want, you know, somebody who's invested in the dream with you, and you're ready for comfort. You don't want so much drama anymore. And I do see you, you know, opening up to a new king. Okay, there's a beginning coming through here. All right, it's something that comes in fast and it comes in shocking with this lightning. Okay, but there's an excitement around it too. It's like for the first time in a long time, you feel very enthusiastic. I think this involves a lot of travel with the writer here. I think you're going to go on a trip, a very important trip. It's an opportunity that's going to come to you quite unexpectedly. You might be wondering if you should go on this trip. Maybe it feels a little destabilizing. Maybe it feels a little uncertain. I think you need to go for it, okay? Because with this rider energy, it's the start of a new cycle for you. And it leads you on a beautiful adventure and to that place called home. Look at that home in the distance, but it does require you releasing something, okay? And you know, you can't be like an ostrich with your head in the sand anymore. You got to look at what's really going on here. Once you do that and you ditch the old baggage, what's not working for you, you find your sense of direction, you move forward, and you do align with that place called home, okay? But it might come in through a bit of a disruption. It might be unexpected and a little bit of shocking. This situation requires somewhat of a tower, but it shows you aligning with that king energy. This may be speaking very strongly for those with Leo placements in their chart. Doesn't have to be, but it does require you to step up into a place of courage to, you know, really step into this and take this on. Let's see with your meme energy what we got here. Yeah, I see that you've been doing some reflection. You've really been thinking about this, how you want to move forward. May have even been spending some time near the water, just sort of clearing your head, trying to get yourself in a centered place before you make your next move. I think you are looking at new horizons, okay?